Prisons have always been an integral part of societal structures, serving as institutions for punishment, rehabilitation, and containment. But some prisons have gained notoriety for their harrowing conditions, brutal treatment of inmates, and chilling histories. This video delves into the darkest corners of history to uncover the scariest prisons ever built. The Tower of London stands as an iconic symbol of England's rich history, its imposing walls bearing witness to centuries of political intrigue, royal drama, and human suffering. Originally built as a royal palace and fortress by William the Conqueror in the 11th century, the tower evolved into one of the most notorious prisons in history. The Tower of London was constructed immediately following his successful invasion of England in 1066. Built to assert Norman dominance over the newly conquered territory, the tower served as a royal residence, military stronghold, and symbol of power. Its strategic location on the north bank of the River Thames made it a formidable defensive structure, with its iconic White Tower becoming the centerpiece of the fortress complex. While the Tower of London served various functions throughout its history, it gained infamy as a prison during the medieval period. From the late 12th century, the tower housed prisoners of state, traitors, and political opponents. Notable prisoners included Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII, who was accused of adultery and treason. Despite her royal status, Anne met a gruesome end within the tower's walls, executed by beheading in 1536. The tower's dungeons were infamous for their grim conditions and the use of torture to extract confessions from prisoners. Methods such as the rack, thumbscrews, and the scavenger's daughter were employed to inflict pain and coercion. Many prisoners endured prolonged suffering before facing execution, which often took place on Tower Hill, just outside the fortress walls. The executions were public spectacles intended to intimidate and reinforce the authority of the monarchy. Despite its dark history, the Tower of London has been preserved as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and remains one of London's most popular tourist attractions. Visitors can explore its medieval architecture, view the crown jewels housed within its walls, and learn about its storied past through guided tours and exhibits. The tower continues to captivate imaginations, inspiring countless works of literature, film, and art that evoke its enduring mystique. The Tower of London stands as a testament to the complexities of power, justice, and human nature throughout history. From its origins as a symbol of conquest to its role as a place of imprisonment and execution, the tower has witnessed centuries of drama and tragedy. Its walls hold the echoes of those who suffered within them, reminding us of the fragility of freedom and the enduring legacy of injustice. As a cultural landmark, the Tower of London invites reflection on the past while serving as a reminder of the importance of safeguarding human rights and dignity in the present day. Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, known colloquially as The Rock, occupies a unique place in American history as one of the most feared and secure prisons ever built. Its isolated location in the heart of San Francisco Bay, combined with its reputation for harsh discipline and relentless security measures, instilled a sense of dread among inmates and captivated the public's imagination. One of the most terrifying aspects of Alcatraz was its isolation. Situated on an island surrounded by treacherous waters, the prison was cut off from the mainland, making escape seem impossible. Inmates were removed from society, their contact with the outside world severely restricted. The sheer remoteness of Alcatraz created a sense of abandonment and hopelessness among prisoners, amplifying their fear of confinement. Life at Alcatraz was characterized by strict discipline and harsh treatment. Inmates were subjected to a regimented daily routine, with little room for individuality or autonomy. Any infractions were met with swift and severe punishment, often in the form of solitary confinement or physical violence. The atmosphere of fear and intimidation created by the prison staff contributed to the sense of dread that permeated Alcatraz. Accounts from former Alcatraz inmates describe the psychological toll of isolation. Inmate William G. Baker, who served time at Alcatraz in the 1950s, recalled feeling cut off from the world and trapped in a nightmare due to the prison's remote location. Official records from Alcatraz document the stringent measures taken to prevent escape, including constant surveillance, regular cell checks, and the use of guard towers equipped with searchlights and machine guns. Despite its reputation as an escape-proof fortress, Alcatraz was not immune to attempts by inmates to break free. The mere possibility of escape, however remote, added to the sense of unease surrounding the prison. Tales of daring escape attempts, such as the infamous Battle of Alcatraz in 1946, captured the public's imagination and reinforced the idea of Alcatraz as an impenetrable fortress of fear. While few inmates successfully escaped from Alcatraz, their attempts fueled rumors and speculation about the prison's security. The 1962 escape of Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers, immortalized in the film Escape from Alcatraz, remains one of the most notorious escape attempts in history, adding to the mystique and fear surrounding the prison. Official reports from the Bureau of Prisons detail the extensive measures taken to prevent escape, including the installation of reinforced steel bars, motion sensors, and guard towers equipped with searchlights and machine guns. Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary was more than just a prison. It was a symbol of fear, isolation, and despair. Its remote location, harsh regime, and reputation for security instilled a sense of dread among inmates. Through specific historical evidence, we can glimpse the chilling reality of life on the Rock and understand why Alcatraz remains one of the scariest prisons in history. The Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum, located in Phnom Penh of Cambodia, stands as a haunting testament to one of the darkest chapters in human history. Formerly known as Security Prison 21 or S21, this site served as the primary interrogation and torture center during the Khmer Rouge regime's brutal reign of terror from 1975 to 1979. Tuol Sleng was originally a high school known as Tuol Svay Prey, but under the Khmer Rouge regime, it was transformed into a house of horrors. Barbed wire fences, guard towers, and electrified barriers were installed to contain prisoners and prevent escape. The transformation of a place of learning into a center of terror added to the psychological impact on its prisoners. Photographs and survivor testimonies document the architectural modifications made to Tuol Sleng, including the installation of cells, interrogation rooms, and torture chambers. The juxtaposition of these grim features with the former classrooms and playgrounds highlights the stark transformation of the site. Tuol Sleng was notorious for its brutal interrogation methods and systematic torture techniques designed to extract confessions and destroy the spirit of the prisoners. Victims were subjected to unimaginable suffering, both physical and psychological, as they endured torture sessions that often led to death or permanent disability. The museum displays various instruments of torture used at Tuol Sleng, including shackles, waterboarding apparatus, and implements for electrocution and mutilation. These artifacts serve as chilling reminders of the cruelty inflicted upon prisoners and the lengths to which the Khmer Rouge regime would go to maintain control. Thousands of confession documents, photographs, and records of interrogations have been preserved at Tuol Sleng, providing detailed accounts of the atrocities committed within its walls. Despite the fall of the Khmer Rouge regime in 1979, the legacy of Tuol Sleng continues to evoke fear and horror. The museum stands as a memorial to the countless victims who perished within its walls and serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of totalitarianism and extremism. The Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum stands as a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity and the horrors of genocide. Through specific historical evidence, we can understand the terrifying reality of life within its walls and the enduring legacy of fear and suffering left by the Khmer Rouge regime. As a symbol of remembrance and reflection, Tuol Sleng serves as a beacon of hope for a future free from tyranny and oppression. Nestled off the coast of French Guiana, Devil's Island stands as a grim testament to the extremes of human cruelty and suffering. As part of the French penal colony system in the 19th and 20th centuries, Devil's Island gained notoriety as one of the most feared and dreaded prison environments in history. Devil's Island was situated in a remote and inhospitable location, surrounded by shark-infested waters and dense jungle. The island's rugged terrain and treacherous coastline made escape virtually impossible, trapping inmates in a nightmarish landscape of despair and isolation. Life on Devil's Island was characterized by harsh discipline, forced labor, and abysmal living conditions. Inmates were subjected to grueling work assignments, including quarrying stone, clearing land, and building infrastructure for the penal colony. The relentless heat, swarms of insects, and scarcity of food and water added to the misery endured by prisoners. The penal regime on Devil's Island was marked by brutality and repression. Inmates who violated the strict rules of the prison were subjected to severe punishment, including beatings, solitary confinement, and starvation. The constant threat of violence and reprisal instilled a pervasive atmosphere of fear and dread among prisoners. Devil's Island was notorious for its staggering mortality rates, with many prisoners succumbing to disease, malnutrition, or mistreatment. The lack of adequate medical care, coupled with the harsh living conditions, led to a constant stream of deaths among the inmate population. The graves of those who perished on the island serve as a haunting reminder of the human cost of the penal colony system. Despite the risks, some inmates attempted daring escapes from Devil's Island in a desperate bid for freedom. However, the odds were overwhelmingly stacked against them, and few succeeded in evading capture. Those who were caught faced harsh consequences and were often subjected to even harsher punishment upon recapture, further reinforcing the sense of futility and despair. The island stands as a chilling symbol of the horrors of the French penal colony system and the depths of human suffering endured by its inmates. Through its remote location, brutal conditions, and oppressive regime, Devil's Island evoked fear and dread in all who were unfortunate enough to be imprisoned within its walls. As a cautionary tale from history, Devil's Island serves as a stark reminder of the inhumanity of incarceration and the enduring resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable hardship. Robben Island, situated off the coast of Cape Town, South Africa, is a place steeped in a history of suffering, oppression, and resistance. For centuries, it served as a place of banishment, imprisonment, and isolation, particularly during the apartheid era. Robben Island's history as a place of punishment dates back to the 17th century when Dutch colonizers used it as a penal colony. Over the centuries, it served as a site of banishment for political dissidents, social outcasts, and those deemed undesirable by the ruling authorities. However, it was during the apartheid era that Robben Island became synonymous with state-sanctioned oppression and racial segregation. Under the apartheid regime, Robben Island was transformed into a maximum security prison for political prisoners, particularly anyone opposed to apartheid policies. The prison housed a diverse range of inmates, including anti-apartheid activists, members of the African National Congress, and leaders of the resistance movement. Inmates on the island endured overcrowded cells, inadequate food and medical care, and forced labor in the island's limestone quarry. The regime of repression and punishment was designed to break the spirits of political prisoners and silence dissent. Despite the oppressive conditions, inmates on Robben Island exhibited remarkable resilience and courage in the face of adversity. They organized clandestine study groups, engaged in acts of civil disobedience, and maintained a sense of solidarity and camaraderie. The prison became a crucible for political activism and ideological debate, fueling the struggle against apartheid. The experiences of those who were incarcerated on the island, including Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, and Ahmed Kathrada, inspired generations of activists and laid the groundwork for South Africa's transition to democracy. Robben Island stands as a somber reminder of the horrors of apartheid and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of oppression. Through the stories of those who were imprisoned there, we gain insight into the enduring legacy of struggle, sacrifice, and triumph over injustice. As a symbol of resistance and resilience, Robben Island serves as a beacon of hope for a future free from tyranny and inequality. As always, thanks for watching. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you ever want some more of that history crack.